Hello, I would like to start today with asking you guys a question. Have you ever just looked at yourself in the mirror and wonder, who is that you're looking at? Because that was me only a couple of years ago when I was at my lowest. I had the grades, the praise, and the perfection that everybody wanted. But I just felt like a stranger to my own reflection. I just felt empty. I grew up with a sister who's only a year and a half older than me. If you know me in real life, I bet you know my sister too, because she's exactly like me. We have the same face, and we even have the same name. And she's everything that I admired. She's brilliant, confident, and she's student council president when she was only 15 years old. And now she's a medical student at the university with a very high scholarship. As her younger sister, I am extremely proud of her. And when she walked into a room, everybody instantly trusted her. And now she's even following my parents' footsteps, continuing the family tradition of becoming a doctor. This legacy has lasted in my family for 4 generations. So without anyone saying it out loud, she just became the standard I grew up measuring myself against. It is not her fault, of course. She never asked me to be like her, but somewhere along the way I thought maybe if I wanted to be loved and respected, I must do exactly what she did. So that's what I did. I locked in academically. I tried to study chemistry really hard, and I tried to study math really hard, even though I think chemistry kind of tried to fight back. But the more I chased that image, the more I lost myself. I stopped laughing as much, I stopped enjoying my life as much, I stopped feeling proud of my own wins. Every achievement felt small and every success felt hollow. And I was constantly exhausted because no matter how hard I tried, it never felt like enough. But I lost my spark. The version of me that used to feel alive and curious and happy just disappeared. And that night, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I realized I'd been living a lie. Not one told by others, but one I told myself. That my worth depends on how well I can become someone I am not. We talk a lot about learning, but we rarely talk about unlearning. Sometimes the lies we tell ourselves to feel safe, to belong, or to be loved become so deeply ingrained that they started to feel like the truth. And the truth is, you can't really erase or delete something you've believed in for so long. But you can, however, unlearn it. You can question it, peel it back, and slowly uncover the truth hidden beneath it. The word unlearning matters because, again, you can't really unlearn something you've learned, but you have to face it, understand where it came from, and understand its roots, and slowly loosen its grip piece by piece. And for me, it began with a simple question I avoided for years. What if the version of me that I'm trying so hard to be isn't really me at all? Unlearning for me meant letting go of the perfection that I clung to, the comparison that I lived in, and the fear that once shaped every single decision that I've ever made. I still remember when I was in the 6th grade while my sister was in the 8th grade, that was when the lie planted itself. I remember it was during history class and my teacher was handing out our exams results. And for my sister, a 9.25 was the lowest she has ever received in history. And I think I got an 8.8, so I was like pretty satisfied with myself, so I was just laughing with my friends. And then my teacher came up to me, and I think she only said this as a joke, but she said, "Would you sacrifice your face for all the academics achievements your sister has?" So in my 6th grade little brain, I just stood there and I was like, what exactly do you mean by that? But I think maybe she's telling me that I'm pretty and that I still have my face to offer to this world. But so only a couple of weeks later, puberty hit. And I felt worthless. I felt ugly, pimples were popping out, hair was swelling, and I felt like I was gaining weight. And I felt like I got nothing to offer to this world. While that happened, my sister was thriving. Teachers trusted her with projects and schoolworks and student council things. She was leading clubs and organizations inside and outside of school. Everybody knew her as this brilliant kid, and they only knew me as her younger sister, but worse, the little girl who didn't know anything. So I made it my mission to prove them wrong. I wanted to show them that I'm 100% capable of whatever my sister was capable of. So that's what I did. I followed everything that she did. She joined in student council. I joined in the student council. She was in this Facebook group for chemistry lovers, and I also joined that Facebook group. She was doing, organizations and clubs inside of school. Whatever she did, I did too. But the thing is, when you keep trying to be someone else, you cannot win because you're not them. I am not my sister. I didn't have the same love for chemistry or the things that she did, but instead of learning who I was, what I'm actually good at, I kept comparing myself to her. And in that endless comparison, I stopped investing in myself. I forgot to ask myself a big question. What if I got something different to offer? And so when I realized this question, I thought, well, from now on, it's just going to be smooth sailing. I just have to know what I'm good at, what I actually want to do with my life, and everything will go according to plan. But no, I was dead wrong, because it's very difficult to let go of the version of yourself that everybody expected you to be. So that's when I came across a quote on TikTok that hit me like a truth that I wasn't ready for. It says, "Конечно, твоя жизнь рушится, твоя новая жизнь будет стоить тебе второй." Which basically means that, of course, your life is falling apart, your new life will cost you your old one. And that's exactly what it felt like. Unlearning the lie didn't just mean changing the mindset, but it meant saying goodbye to the old version of yourself that everybody else built. And this goodbye hurt because it meant losing the relationships, the people that were built around the old you. It meant sitting with loneliness and doubt and fear. There were days, even weeks, I wondered if I made a mistake. But that's what unlearning is. It's about questioning everything. It's about reframing fear, seeing it not as weakness, but as proof that you're growing, choosing to love yourself first, to put yourself first, even when you don't even trust yourself. And for me, that's what unlearning is. It felt like peeling away layers of onions. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it sometimes can make people cry. And in my case, I cried all the time. But with each layer gone, I've met someone more real. And maybe that's what growth is, breaking before rebuilding. After I fell apart, after I hit rock bottom, something unexpected happened. I realized that change wasn't a punishment, but it was rather a chance for transformation. Falling, failing, breaking down, losing people, all of it stripped me off from who I thought I was, so I could finally see who I really am. Changing is scary, but not having the validation that I once had was even scarier. Because for so long, being like my sister, somewhat perfect, kept me something to hold on to, something to keep me safe. It told me what to do, how to act, and what to chase. And without it, I didn't know who I was anymore. So that's when I realized that fear doesn't mean that you're failing, but it means that you are evolving. You just gotta be brave, because being brave doesn't even mean that you're not scared. Being brave means that you're scared, but you're doing it anyways. So when I stopped chasing validation, I began to attract the right kind of people. Friends who love me for who I am without using me or belittling me. I started to feel gratitude over things that once hurt me, the comparison, the loneliness, and even the lie itself, because all of it taught me that sometimes in order to find yourself, you have to let go of the version of you that everybody else built. And for the first time, I stopped chasing perfection and I started appreciating progress. I stopped trying to be perfect and I started trying to be honest. And with that came peace. The kind that doesn't depend on approval, but on acceptance. The lie told me that I had to be somewhat like my sister or perfect to be worthy of love. But the truth is, I was worthy of it all along. And now that I look back, falling down, breaking, all of it wasn't the end. But it was rather the beginning of me coming home to myself, the beginning of me finding my true self. So now I leave you with one question that I hope someone has asked me a little bit sooner. What lie are you still calling the truth? Because maybe, just maybe, unlearning this lie is when your life finally begins. Thank you so much for listening.